This episode of the Mompreneur Huddle is brought to you by Tammy Capri, designer bags for the designer mom. Make sure you check them out at www.leechecapri.com. All of the links will be in the description section.
YL.
Kids are looking up to me.
It is.
What we do.
Girl, you's a boss mom. Baby girl, you so perfect. Girl, you's a boss mom. Making everything worth it. Girl, you's a boss mom. Stand on all of your business. And when it come to investments, and baby girl, you the realest. Girl, you's a boss mom.
Yeah, I like that right there. Welcome to another episode of the Mompreneur Huddle Podcast. I am your host, Tammy Capri, the Mompreneur Mentor. And of course, I am here with my girl, the one, the only.
Hi, it's Toya, your stay-at-home mompreneur.
Hey, stay-at-home mompreneur.
Hello.
How are you, stay-at-home mompreneur?
I'm good. How are you?
I am blessed.
I love that.
I can say that I am
Yes.
blessed. I am truly blessed. This week has shown me all of the possibilities.
Ooh.
The possibilities that are there.
I'm
this
so glad
year.
I'm here because, yes.
You so glad? I'm glad you're here too.
Yes.
I'm glad you're here too.
Because you
recap
saying
me
that
this.
just now, just brighten me up.
Yeah.
Even more.
Yeah.
Like you saying that now and still keeping that same temperature with it being January.
Yes.
Almost the end of January.
It is. It is. That fast.
Tammy.
That fast. That quickly.
So
quick.
you still having that attitude and that energy right now, because this is around the time where most people,
dip out,
or even
tap out.
those thoughts and
the negativity,
So,
the limited beliefs, all
yes,
that.
I'm
Yep.
glad you're having
Yep.
such a positive week.
Yeah, I'm very intentional about this year. This year is personal. Like, I'm gonna be 40 this year, and I'm gonna keep saying that. I'm gonna be 40 this year, so I'm very intentional about everything that I'm doing this year, from the business to my personal life. So, which brings us into tonight's topic. What is tonight's topic? What are we talking about tonight, Toya?
Birdman rubs hands.
Birdman rubs the hand.
We are talking about dating as a mompreneur, dating, entrepreneurship.
Yes, all that good.
Yeah.
Dating as a mompreneur. Well, you're in a relationship. How long have you been in a relationship?
Total, we've been together almost 9 years. We've been serious about 5 years, and
Okay.
we've been engaged.
So you ain't going nowhere.
No, we've been engaged over a year. Yeah.
Well, you're dating, but you're dating at another level of dating.
Yeah.
You're dating your husband, so that can actually, in my opinion, be a little bit more strenuous on a business,
Yes.
and growing a business,
Woo.
and your identity and his identity. So
Yeah.
let's get into it. So first, aside from being a mompreneur, aside from the business, we are women first, right? We have our own dreams, the things we want to do. And already I feel like women have to adapt sometimes, or have to put their things on the back burner sometimes.
Ooh.
Outside of, now, we're not even getting into entrepreneurship yet. We're not even getting into the businesses that you already have established, but just overall, like when you look at historically, right? When you look at history, more women adapt or change or live that dream deferred life than men do, because it's always helping him, us being the man's help mates, and women don't follow their dreams. Women are singing the shoulda, coulda, wouldas, right? Your identity is basically who your husband has, or your partner, whomever, has shaped it to be, or
Yeah.
motherhood, what motherhood has shaped it to be. How do you feel about that? How do you feel about just having your own identity?
Ooh, I feel like, for me, I would say that I love my babies, but it's been more so motherhood that kind of that was, I'm gonna say was making me live that dream deferred, you know? But there were times where I had to make sacrifices for my family, and, move things around, stay at a job a little bit longer, or take a job. This is, the Mompreneur Huddle, but you can be an entrepreneur and still have a 9 to 5. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like a lot of times it was times where I just couldn't work on me. I had to do what I had to do because it was more of a steady income.
But do you feel like when it comes to, so at the time when you decided to be a wife, be a fiance, be in this relationship, do you feel like you had to sacrifice who you were and what you wanted at the sake of motherhood or marriage or?
Yeah. And I had to look at it. Until we understood what was going on and we understood what the family needed, it definitely put a tad bit of strain on the relationship, because I never want to be that woman. I never want to be the woman that gives up on her dreams. You know what I'm saying? Like, I never want to be that. And I feel like, you got to take a step back and just look at everything as a whole. Look at what's transpiring, especially like when I had my twins. I always relate to my twins because it was such a challenging time.
Okay.
When I first had my twins, I think like right when I was able to even work out, like after my 6 weeks appointment, I started instructing women online, fitness instruction online. I had about 15 women that I was instructing, and that lasted for a couple of months. But then when our transportation business picked up, I had to choose between the two, and it hurt.
So, but you started the transportation business. Is that something that you wanted to do, or is that something you feel like
at
you
a time
had to
it
do?
was? But at that time,
it?
I introduced it, but I put the plan in motion. But it was first just my fiance working it at first,
Right?
And then it came a point in time where it would kind of be crazy if I didn't do it because of the amount of money that we would make.
But see, that's the point right there that I'm asking. You get what I'm saying? And it's never a bad thing. If I could be in a situation where my future husband, and yes, I'm speaking it because I know my future's out there somewhere, but my future husband and I can work on the business together, something that we love, like I would love that. You know what I'm saying? But realistically, when you bring two people together, especially two entrepreneurs, 9 times out of 10, you are not going to be doing the same thing.
No, you're not.
Right? So when he introduced that, what Toya truly at heart wanted had to take a step back, because
had to
now
slow
I
down, had to take a step back. Yeah.
Right. So now I got to help him with this. Not saying that it's not the best decision for our family. We're going to do what we want to do.
Right.
But in the back of my mind, I don't want to be that woman that builds resentment.
Yeah, and it's easy. It's easy for that to happen. It really is. But I think it's important to just understand sometimes that things are for season. I know our transportation company, it has seasonal peaks. So I was just like, I just used to tell myself, like, I just got to push through just this season of this. I'll be able to pick up where I left off, or I'll be on the next greatest thing or doing the next best thing, So
it comes to you sacrificing.
It does. And it was like really, like at first I didn't understand it. Like I felt like, I was like questioning like why, but I know that we had a goal. We had a financial goal that we were trying to get to. You know what I'm saying? And the transportation company was the only thing that was doing that for us at the moment. And it's not like I didn't mind doing it. I just wanted to do what I wanted to do, you know? So I definitely had to make that sacrifice. And I'm gonna be all the way honest with you. It didn't feel good. But now, that we've been doing it for a couple of years. We still have the transportation business. We've been doing that for a couple of years. Like, I know now, okay, I have to set things up a certain way because that season is coming. You know what I'm saying? If I need to jump in, I told you I did it a couple times this year.
Yeah, you was just recently doing it.
I was recently doing it. If
Yeah.
I got to jump in a little bit, I'm cool. I know, okay, I'm a content creator. This is what I do. So I need to put my content on a schedule. So that way when I'm out doing it, it's been 2-3 days. I don't feel like doing this. I now have content that I can post during those days. It just takes growth and maturity.
It does. It definitely takes maturity when you already in that situation. And when you're already in that situation, you have to, I feel as though both sides should have to adapt or sacrifice a little bit.
Yeah, but what about when that sacrifice doesn't come at the same time?
I mean, it doesn't have to come at the same time, but it should, me personally, it should always, I mean, communication and discussions around it all is important. And I'm not asking for a tit for tat situation, but I'm the type of person where I would think, like right now, I am a single mother, right? I was in a relationship previously, no longer in that relationship. And now I've decided, like, since the ending of that and up until now, my mission was to solely focus on stepping into who Tammy completely is.
So do you feel like the relationship took you away from that?
Wait, I'm gonna get there.
Okay, because I'm like,
no, I'm gonna get there. I feel like, what was I saying? So my mission is to solely focus on stepping into who Tammy is supposed to be in this season, right? And as I step into that, as I do the things that I'm called to do, things will automatically start aligning, right? And I'm being very clear, not just with people, but with things, with opportunities, right? Because all money isn't good money. But just with everything, I'm being very aware of what is for me and what's not for me. And not just saying yes because it sounds good, not just saying yes because it feels good, not just saying yes just to do the opportunity. Because I do feel like, in a way, every relationship, whether it is a romantic relationship, whether it's a partnership, whether it is a friendship, a situation, whatever it is, every relationship is going to cause you to show up in a different way, right? And I want to be very clear with myself and fair to myself to not have to conform to something else to make that situation happen, work, or whatever, right? For you for instance, the conversation that we had before this came about, like I told you, it felt right. It wasn't anything that I was rushing. It was like, I like her energy. It was a vibe. Yes, there were other people that I was considering, but it just didn't feel, you know what I mean? It just did not feel. And I think that, I know that this was the best decision because of how fluent our conversations has been. Even down to scheduling, coming here, working together. It's been happening. It's been working. The flexibility, like it's just been happening, right? Now, imagine if I was to try that in a forced situation, it wouldn't have worked. It wouldn't have worked. And then I'm going to be stressed. You know what I'm saying? And then things just wouldn't have came out how it was supposed to come out. So I'm being very intentional about who I have around me, what I'm doing, and you know what I'm saying, what I'm putting myself into. It all needs to align with who I am and who I am becoming. What is my end goal? Who do I see myself as, right? And I don't want to be in a situation where I got to feel like I have to choose between following my dream or being this wife, mother.
I don't think you should have to do that.
Right. But some women have to. Some women have to. And even when we don't want to, some women just have to do it because more than likely the man isn't, and I think it's more so, and we can rewind it, right? Because I'm not even married, but I'm preparing,
Right.
Because I know that is a part of the whole vision, But it's going to take a certain type of person to even step and fill in that role because everybody can't handle that, And I fear that if I'm not careful, that I may conform and not be who I'm supposed to be. I may get comfortable. I may get lax because, you know what I mean? And then if I don't try, then I may miss that window or miss that, you know what I'm saying? So it's like,
You mentioned something really, really important though. You mentioned alignment.
yes.
And this just reminds me of a movie, one of my favorite little Netflix movies. It's called Sex Life. And have you heard of that before?
No, I have not.
It is so good.
Is it raunchy or is it?
It's tense.
Oh,
but
Lord. She about to have me, y'all. She about to have me go and watch.
You're going to be binge watching it. But there's a lady on there. There's a black woman.
Okay.
And she is career driven. And Tammy, you are very career driven entrepreneur. You are very strong about that.
I am.
And this same thing happened to her. Like she was getting to a point where she was ready to be that girlfriend or that wife, but she was so career strong.
Yeah.
And it kind of made me tear up a little bit because she was at the airport and she was like going across the country. It might have been like China, Tokyo, don't quote me, or she was going somewhere. And her boyfriend, good guy, awesome guy. He was supporting her along the way, but she had to make a choice. Am I going to stay here in New York City because of him? Or am I going to go take this career opportunity because I want to chase my dreams? And he surprised her at the airport and basically was like, I'll quit my job to be with you. Or I'll figure something out to be with you. So when you mention alignment, I think that, God knows who you are. He knows your heart desires.
Right.
He's going to align you with the next person that comes along is definitely going to be in alignment with what you have going on. But I do feel like you staying purposeful is what's going to get you that.
Right. And the obedience is what I'm focused on. Mm-hmm. But
obedience is going to be sacrifice every time.
Girl, yes.
Every time.
That's the only sacrifice I'm willing to do is to God, honestly. Yeah. Honestly. But I feel like I've been not just with my love life, but just overall figuring out who I am supposed to be. And I feel like now is the time where I really understand where God is taking me.
And I feel like being single is a time. Being single can go two different ways. Girl. I feel like you can kind of get wrapped up when you're single, or single can really just mold. It's like a boot camp you almost go through when you're single. Like it's gonna mold you to who you.
It's clarity.
Yeah. It is clarity. It is clarity. You don't have the distractions. You're focused. Not saying that.
But this is the thing. Though. This is the thing. This is the thing. It is amazing being. I love myself enough. Right. I am a socialite.
Yes, you are.
I can go in a room and speak to strangers.
Yeah.
That's just who I am. And I like being by myself sometimes. I would like to just go in my house and chill out and just be in the house and whatever it is, But here's the thing. At some point, preparing for that, it's like, again? Start over again? You know what I mean? Like, it's like, like, now it's like, not just the business. Now it is, the children, because when you're a mompreneur, you don't have just your business, you have your children. And it's like a whole new situation, a whole new transition, especially if they're younger. Like all of those things, the question always comes to mind is, can you really have it all? Can you really have it all in this time?
I swear this is exactly what that movie was saying.
I gotta watch
Can
that
you
movie.
have it all?
I gotta watch the movie. I gotta watch the movie. But
I think you
Do you feel like
can.
you can have it all?
Yes, when you talk about alignment, I feel like there's a season for, not like just a season, but there's a time where when you'll walk into that. It doesn't always happen, and I feel like when you've been with somebody, when you push in like 9-10 years, like
But it's a difference in you building it together.
it is
Versus,
but there's a lot of ups and downs, and
it's supposed to be.
so it's just like
supposed to be ups and
the
downs.
good thing to me, I feel like, is when you're like to start over. I feel like at that time you get to write your own your own script, your own narrative. Like you get to be, you already know who you are. You know what you want. Instead of like actually building that with somebody.
Yeah,
it's like,
but that's harder though, Toya.
But listen, somebody gonna have to come with it, and they're gonna have to come with it
But
or
that's
not.
the point. But see, that's the point. That's what I mean. Like, it's harder. And my dad told me this. He said, the more you grow into who you're supposed to be, the more you climb that ladder, the more successful you become, the smaller the dating pool is with quality people. Because, like, even now,
come through pops with a word.
Come through,
and that's
pops
a
with
man
word.
saying that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I saw on the dating show Pop That Balloon or whatever, Pop the Balloon. The girl came in, girl. You can tell when a woman knows who she is, and the confidence speaks for you before she entered that room. Before she entered that room, sis was bad.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Got it going on. And, she asked the question, the host asked the question, what do you do? And she ran it all down. That everybody started popping their balloons. So then they went to ask, like, why did you pop your balloon? And one guy was straight up and said, oh, you look like you about your business, and I can't afford you. Straight up.
That's so unfortunate.
It's very unfortunate, but I went to the comments. I like to read the comments. Comments be hilarious sometimes, but comments will really... A lot of the content that I post, I get them from comments. Like, you know what I'm saying? Because it's interesting. Like, I like to see how the world think. And one lady said in the comments, she said that room was nothing but a line of intimidation. Everyone was, no, not a line. She said, men in line full of intimidation. However she phrased it, but all of the men were intimidated by her. Now, it was like a 1 to 10. A 1 to 10. So out of 10 men, I think one guy kept his balloon, but she didn't ask him, like, because it was a snippet of it. I didn't see the whole
I hate
episode.
when they do that.
But it's like 1 out of 10 men.
Yeah.
The possibility. And then he may not even qualify for her.
He probably don't.
Right. So it's like it does become difficult, and men that are out there that's doing it and that's successful and that's all that, they come with their own set of issues.
Yeah, but that's true. But I feel like people have to be equally yoked. Now, I'm not saying that there could be a man who, like, it's okay to make less than your woman, but I do feel like when it comes to being equally yoked, I feel like if you're dating a man that has his own going on, like, y'all gonna be driven together almost.
You gotta find that man though. But that's what I mean by the whole starting over.
You don't think it's a lot of men out there like that?
I think there's a lot of men in this world. I think there's a lot of men I think there's somebody for everybody.
Right.
But my thing is the process of going through that. Okay, this one's not it. Let me start over. This one's not it. Because you have to be intentional when it comes to dating. You can't just sit around and expect, you know what I'm saying? Like, even though, like, God knows the desires of your heart, God's going to send people your way, but you got to go out and be in those places to meet them, right? Then you got to take the time to get to know them, right? And then you got to get the time to, and then if that don't work, then you got to do the next one. And you can't just give up if that's something you really want, But in the meantime, you got to focus on your business.
Let me ask you a question. What you think about spinning the block? Like, if it was somebody,
I learned my lesson with that. I ain't spinning the block.
If it was somebody
spinning the block.
If it was somebody in your past that y'all really didn't end on bad terms, and like now
if we didn't end on bad terms,
and then now you're at a point in life to where you want to be. He might be where you.
So
Nah, I'm making Tammy
My
laugh, y'all.
experience of spinning the block taught me that, girl, once you leave that block, don't come back.
Lord.
That was my experience. Now, that's hard to answer because I'm still fairly young. You know, like, even though I'm about to be 40, I'm still fairly young. And my relationships were, I didn't have a whole bunch of relationships.
Got you.
And they were all long term. Remember, I was married. I ain't splitting the block with that one.
Yeah.
Sorry, baby daddy, but heck no.
He probably
I'm sorry, my daughter here too, y'all. I don't mean to say nothing about your daddy, girl. Sorry. Denim's here, guys. Had to bring it with me. But no, I'm not. Huh? Not right now. You can say how later though. Toward the end, we'll bring you on. But I'm not spinning the block with that one.
Yeah.
And the few after, I spent the block once, and
it just wasn't what it was.
It just wasn't what it was, you know. And we had, when I spent the block after, we had maybe a 6 or 7 month break. So is that considered spin the block if you go back?
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, and then we ended up, and then it just wasn't right.
Yeah.
You know, and it just wasn't right.
Now that I think about it, that is, it's gonna take somebody so special, because when you already know what you want in life, and then you're single on top of that, and then you're ready, when you are ready to step in that wife, you know, role, who's gonna be the special man,
right? And but that's why
he better be watching every episode so he know how.
Not even just for me, but just even for mompreneurs that are single overall. It's like, we get so focused on building this, you know, and I truly have a feeling, and it may not even go this way, that Tammy is going to grow this as far as she wants to grow it and focus on it so much. And the kids are going to be off in college.
Right.
The kids are not going to be, they're going to be around, but then Tammy's going to find that. You know what I mean?
And you know, because then you don't got to worry about.
That's how, and I'm not going to say I don't have friends, or, you know what I'm saying? But you have to have friends. I'm not talking about friends with benefits or anything like that. No, I'm talking about genuine male friends who give insight, who will make amazing candidates, but it's not, you know what I'm saying? No, I feel like it's going to go like, now is the time for you to do this. Get your kids off to start their life. And now you have the time, because you don't have to worry about the money. You don't have to worry about your bills. You can travel as much as you want. You can do, like, you done built this whole life for yourself. And now you're in your 50s, and now you can.
Tammy, that's a long time from now. Wait a minute.
50 is 10 years.
That's a long time.
Girl, I've been in the gym. I'm gonna be fine at 50.
You are. But you hold on. Okay. You plan to be single for 10 years?
No, I don't plan. I don't know. No, I'm just saying in my mind, that's what I think, because I've given my life to my children, right? And I've been married, right? And I've tried relationships, and I've been focusing on my love life majority of my life. Now it's time to focus on loving Tammy. Now it's time to focus on, and I'm not no love guru. You could ask me about transitioning into mompreneurship. You could ask me about building a business. You could ask me about raising these kids. You could ask me about time management. You could ask me about any other thing, and I'm like, boom, bop, 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 bop. Ask me about dating advice. I'm gonna say, girl, you better go get you a dating coach, because I ain't the one. You know what I'm saying? I know my lane. So I'm aware of where my strengths and stuff. And if I know that right now is the time for just me, if it takes 10 years, I'm okay with that. You know? I am honestly okay with that, because first of all, I believe it takes time to get to know somebody anyway.
It does.
I believe it takes time to really, when you're bringing two people together, that's not an easy task. And now the questions are totally different from what it used to be, because don't be asking me what's my favorite color. Don't be asking me what I like to eat. Baby, we can find that out later when we're on the ship or a cruise
what kind of
somewhere.
questions you have? What's your credit score? What do you?
Not even that. Like, how is your relationship with your children?
Oh, right.
How is your relationship with God? You know,
and at that case, how was your relationship with your children coming up too? Because that's gonna tell me everything that I need to know.
Do you have a relationship with your mother if she's still living, or with your family if they're still
questions
living?
You don't ask when you in your 19s or 20s.
I'm asking that the first week, sweetie. I am asking those questions because it's important. I'm not finna
and you
waste my
grown now.
time.
Yeah.
I'm not about to waste my time with someone who's not emotionally intelligent, someone who has not dealt with themselves, or someone who refuses to work on themselves. Because I'm not saying that we're all perfect. Tammy is always working on herself. Always. Whether it's mentally, physically, like I am always going to work on myself because there's always something to grow from, through, and learn, right? And there are some people who just refuse to work on themselves. That's not where I am. More power to you, but that's not where I am. You know, you don't have to have it all, but you have to have that mentality, that mindset to be ready to conquer it all, to be ready to face your demons and not hold your future hostage because of what your past did. And that's a lot of people's mistakes. I'm putting that in the book. Don't hold your future hostage because of what your past did.
Yeah. Yeah.
That is what a lot of people do. Like, you ever meet a person who don't trust because they've been hurt so bad by other people, and you just got this one person in your face that's ready to love, ready to pour into you, ready to do, but you can't see past the hurt that your past caused you. I don't have time to fix that in somebody.
Yeah.
You know, and I don't think healed is reality, right? I don't think anyone is ever 100% healed from anything, from everything. Because we all have our triggers, right? But we know how to manage our triggers. We know how to not allow those things to take over us. We know how to shut it down. Does it still hurt? Do we still think about it? Yes. But the trust that we build, the confidence that we build in us, like all of that takes time. It takes time. Like, I've been in and out of.
And then not to mention that taking time in raising babies.
It's a whole nother beast.
Like on the male and the woman part. Like, so it's just like, let me ask you a question. So you mentioned like how is your relationship with your kids, right? So, you know, when it comes time, or for older women, like, what if the male didn't have a good relationship with the kids, but now he's everything you're looking for in a man, just with his relationship with his kids? It might be because of the baby mama. It might be just because of
to me. Now, I could only speak for me, and this is not judging anybody. But your children are your children regardless.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I hate that excuse of, because of my baby mama, I can't see my kids. Well, guess what? They have courts.
Yeah.
And I do understand that the court don't always
work in your favor,
the father. But that does not mean I'm going to give up my fight, because I know some men that still go through this with their baby mama. Still, till this day, the baby mom putting all types of stuff in the kids' heads and everything, and they still there showing up, and they got their stuff, they got their visitor, they got whatever it is, and they keep doing it because they come first. But for a man to just wash his hands and say, I'm going to wait, I'm going to give up, I'll wait till they're older. No, like, you're missing out on the vital years. Like, they need you these years, especially boys. You shouldn't be entertaining or dating or doing anything if your home ain't right.
No, for
real.
real.
And by home, your children.
No, for real.
You can have all the money in the world. You can have all of whatever. You could be fine but if once I hear you ain't seen your kids in how long and they live 20 minutes away, that's a problem for Tammy. Now, to anybody else, y'all cool with that? Cool. But I refuse to give it. Now, I have given that excuse in the past. Well, maybe it's the baby mama. Maybe it's no. Absolutely not.
It could be, but you got to fight it.
It could be, but you got to fight it. It could be, but you got to fight. But there's always 4, 5, and 6 sides to every story
Yeah.
too.
Yeah.
So no longer do I give that excuse or allow that to be an excuse. You just not the person for me.
Yeah.
You just not the person for me. And that's just all there is to it. So again, ain't no knock to nobody. And to the moms who are in those, that's just a standard I set for myself.
Yeah.
You know, I wrote, and I did that going into this year. I write statements for me, statements that I am going to live by. So I have a boundary statement. You know, like how a mission statement is for a job. You say what your mission is. I have a mission statement for me, my personal self. You should try it. I have a mission statement. I have a boundary statement, how I'm going to say no and why I say no to certain things, right? I have a standard statement. And these are just some things that help me remind myself of what I put in place for me.
Yeah.
And anybody that comes along with that word equally yoked that you brought up, anyone that comes along that is equally yoked will not cause you to deviate from your mission.
Yeah.
Any of those statements, your mission, your boundaries, and any of those statements, they won't cause you to deviate from that. And I truly believe that.
I believe that too.
You know, and because I believe that, because you believe that, your life will always form and shape in a way that it's supposed to go, because you're not. Now you can compromise, but a compromise, again, it's not, a compromise doesn't have to be a sacrifice. I shouldn't have to choose between this and that. But I feel like right now, I don't want to be faced with I don't want to be faced with the opportunity to even have to choose. You know, I just want to let me get my walk right with Christ.
Yeah.
Let me get this business to where I want it to be.
Yeah.
Let me get it. Let me get these kids off, and you know what I'm saying? Let me focus there. And
because being a girlfriend, fiance, wife, that's another full-time job. That's another 40 hours, 50, 60 hours a week.
look,
So listen, that's a whole nother job.
that's
a
whole
lot.
nother duty.
It's
That's
a
another
lot.
job that I'm not. First of all, the girlfriend status. I am not finna be nobody girlfriend for 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 years. So automatically, if your goal ain't marriage, baby, we don't even need to be talking about what business opportunity do you have. Maybe we supposed to be business partners. Maybe you supposed to give me some advice, because I know it ain't to be my man. So no, we ain't even finna waste time of going on these dates and then you don't even know what you want. Baby, bye.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? 'Cause I'm not going to be your girlfriend. I'm 40 years old coming into, this is my boyfriend, y'all. What? This my man. No, this is. Hey, excuse me. Come on, and my man think it's my man. No, like it's just you know, you get what I'm saying. So no. And
Y'all
I'm
hear
not
that, right?
finna
Come with
be-
the ring on the first date.
Girl, not the first day. That come with a ring camera so we do some content. That's it. But I'm not going to be.
That does sound crazy.
But I'm not going to even be performing wifely duties. You don't even get that far with me at girlfriend stage. You know, because you already know coming
Especially
into,
not at a mature age. It's like, what are we doing?
what are we doing?
Yeah.
What are we doing?
Yeah.
You know, and you can tell off the first few conversations where
Yeah.
somebody's mental is.
Yeah.
You know, we always had that ability to do that, but we always ignored it because, he fine. Oh, he got this car. He did, you know what I'm saying? We always ignore it, and we get ourselves into situations so where it's like, all right, now I'm tolerating. If I tolerate you, if I have to tolerate you, this ain't it. You know, I wanna be like, oh my gosh, like I love the way he just did that, but he getting on my nerves. But I still love it when he get that way. You know what I'm saying? But I don't want to have to. Oh my gosh, here we go. Just because we're stuck in a situation.
Yeah.
No, I don't want to do that.
Yeah.
I don't want to do that. So, but yeah, I don't know. Dating as a mompreneur in 2025.
Dating as a mompreneur.
Dating in a mompreneur in 2025. And baby, hold on to yours.
Yeah.
Hold on to yours because, listen, I don't know, but we shall see. We absolutely shall see. But I think the most terrifying thing is you don't know who you're meeting.
I know.
You don't know who you're meeting. It was this, and I don't know if you saw it. This one, I think it was her aunt.
Mm-hmm.
And it happened January 2024, but the case is about to go to trial this month, right? When the aunt took, she had 5 kids already, but then she took in her niece or something. And her new man was...
Yeah, I think I know exactly what you're talking
her,
about. She ended up missing, and
yeah. And it's like, well, in that case, you already should have. I would have already been skeptical because his past was already that.
Yeah.
But there are some men who can come off as gods, but then they're monsters. Not gods. Nobody's gods. But then they're monsters.
But that's why I commend you, because I feel like it's really hard to already have children and then to say, I'm gonna put my children first and I'm gonna get my children off to where they need to be. I feel like that's how I would be. Like, I ain't going nowhere, baby. But and you better not either. I tell them all the time, this death row.
like we
welcome to death row, baby.
Welcome to death row.
I wouldn't
because it's so scary now.
It's scary.
It's
scary,
very
and
scary.
my parents need their mom. So
Yes.
before I even put myself in a situation to where it can get like that, but that has to be somewhat of a little bit painful and a sacrifice that a mom has to make to put that, because what if your child's are really, really young, then you wait until they get all the way.
So I think it would be more so when your kids are really, really young, in a normal situation, you're not in your 40s or 50s with young kids. You know what I'm saying? I know I was 21 when, you know what I'm saying? So I didn't have that mindset back then. I didn't have that, I'm going to wait till he's older if it didn't work out. Because I got divorced. I was married to my children's father. They have the same father.
Yeah.
All 3 of them have the same father. So we were married. And when we were divorced, Denim was 2.
Mm-hmm.
So by then it was, and I was still fairly young, and by then it was, okay, I'm going to get my mind right. And I wasn't even at the point where I'm going to wait till they get older, because, again, I come from a blended family.
Yeah.
So I know it's possible to find somebody and then have that step parent and do, like, I come from a healthy, blended family. Shout out to my mamas, both of them, Mama Cynthia and Mama Michelle. Shout out to y'all. But I know how possible that is. So then it was like, okay, well, we're going to take some time. Now, I ain't even going to say anything because my daughter here. We're going to skip that part now, Mom. We'll share this story for another time. But
you had me reeled in.
Girl, listen, I forgot we had the babies in the studio today. But no, it was just going to be work on you. Because I was in therapy. I definitely had to see a therapist after that divorce. And just took some time. And then I started dating again. And then eventually I got into a relationship. So it wasn't like I'm at the mindset where I'm going to wait. No, it took a few failed relationships for me to get to this mindset.
Oh, absolutely.
So now it's at the mindset because since my divorce, there were two serious relationships, right? And those 2 serious relationships, neither one of them made it. So now it's like, I'm not going to continue to introduce this family into a serious situation and it not work, and now they're teenagers. And now it's a whole different ball game, like my oldest son is transitioning into manhood. He's about to be a man soon, and then baby boy is right behind him. And then I have her who's coming into her preteen years. And that's, and thank God I have a tight support system. I have strong male presence in their lives. So that's never been the question. But for me to be in that type of situation again, it is going to, like, God going to have to literally say, Tammy, boom, this is it.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And for me to, like, I'm just not there with it anymore. You know what I'm saying? And I don't know, things may change in 26 or 27 or 2030. But for now, it's like, I truly believe I am supposed to focus on that, and I am okay with that.
Yeah.
I'm okay with that. Like, I'm okay with just friends. I'm okay with just going out here and there, but not anything serious. You know what I mean? I'm okay with that. And I am absolutely okay with remaining celibate until, because I already said the next time, you know what I'm saying, it's going to be husband. I ain't.
Woo!
And that's just something between me and God. You know what I'm saying? It's the biblical
I love
thing.
you, God.
It's like, you can hear, but that's another test
That takes
that
some
I gotta
major strength, but
and I'm doing it. You know, I am absolutely doing it. And I think that's what eliminates the confusion, because the D will confuse you. The D, that's why it's called the D, because it's the devil. When you're not married, it's the devil.
Look, I'm looking like
the D, when you're not married, it's the devil, because it will confuse you, and you get so caught up in lust and caught up in potential that you really don't look at the whole picture, and you're like, okay, this was never going to work anyway. Because now we're not thinking with our minds, we're thinking with our pocketbooks, emotions, and the pocketbook. Like, we can't think with those things. So I am. I think for every mom out there that is in the journey, on the journey of building her business and following her dreams and raising the children. And I know it gets hard. It gets hard carrying everything by yourself. It gets hard doing that. But this is why it's so important to have the multiple streams. This is why it's so important to build this life, so that way we don't have to feel like we have to have that two-income household, because it will help.
Got you.
You know what I'm saying?
Got you.
Let's build our own, and then
whatever we get is just extra.
Right. After we take the money off the table, okay, what else does this man bring to the table? Why do I love this man? Why are we aligned? Like, what else? Because when the money is going, because the money may not always be there. Like we could be, you see what happened in California? Those fires done put people in situations so where, like, they ain't got money to rebuild their life. So now it's, you know what I'm saying? Like, after that, then what? What do we have to really truly build on? Can my life partner, because that's what it is.
That's what it is when you get older. It ain't called a boyfriend.
This is my life partner. Right. Can we sustain outside of the small things when the kids are older, when they're out of the house, And that is what I feel is more important when finding or connecting with somebody. After all of this, then what? Yeah. And it's that then what that's important. But I don't know. But when did you feel like you were ready to be married? Because this would be your first marriage. When did you feel like you were ready to be married? Was it when you had the twins, or?
No, it was like this. After I stopped working for a really, really big company, I got into like bartending and bottle service in the club. And I just feel like it was like, not bashing anybody that lives that life, but if you're wanting to be in a relationship, or you really love somebody or you taking somebody serious, that profession is just not gonna work out. In that
The bottle service?
the bottle service, the bartending, that unless you have like your own company and you have people.
So it wasn't people there, like your coworkers, none of them were married or in relationships?
They would have people that they mess around with, but I don't think
Girl,
I
that was
met
not
any.
the question.
I don't think it was any girls that was like the only person that was married. One of the spots I worked at was the owners. The owners of it were married. But other than that, that's why I said if you're like an owner or if you're somebody, maybe that might work out for you. But it came a point in time where it was just putting a strain on our. We were dating, but we were dating heavy.
Yeah.
But it was putting a. I started to see that there was no trust there. You know what I'm saying? Because honestly,
there was no trust. Well, he didn't trust you?
Yeah, and I feel like he wasn't like fully committed either because he couldn't trust me.
Girl, you's a boss mom. Baby girl, you so perfect. Girl, you's a boss mom. Making everything worth it. Girl, you's a boss mom. Stand on all.
She's very pretty. Hey lady, that's a nice clutch. Wow.
Business and when it come to investments and baby girl, you the realest. Girl, you's a boss mom. Baby girl, you so perfect. Girl, you's a boss mom.
So trust issues in that profession. And that is very similar to you being an entertainer, right? If you were a singer and you were on tour or on the road and you're around men, is it trust issues or is it insecurity?
I feel like it could be a little bit of both, but I do feel like when you ask me at what point do I want to be a wife, I feel like a wife should be held at a certain type of standard. I'm not trying to knock nobody because those were some of the best and fun times of my life. But I don't think I could be a wife wearing a leotard with my booty, a thong.
Oh, you had
leotard.
to wear that?
Yeah,
that
if I had to wear a thong onesie with up my booty,
so there's
and go.
There's no wives working at Hooters? I'm just saying.
It might be, but
I'm just saying.
But I honestly don't think that when it's time to be a wife that you should be doing that. Like I said, I'm not. I think that that's a fun industry to be in when you're young, single, not taking anybody serious. But you know, I have my cleavage out. I have to kind of be flirtatious if I want. When you really touching money in that industry, you're gonna want to be flirtatious. You're gonna want to entertain. Yeah, because people come to the bar.
It's a part of the game.
It's a part of the game. It's a part of the game.
So that's when you knew you wanted to be a wife, when you left that job?
Well, I knew that I really did love the guy. I knew I loved my fiance at that time. Like I knew I wanted to move to the next level in our relationship, and I don't feel like he's gonna take me serious if
you're doing that.
If I'm in this industry. So I got so I then moved on to working in real estate. So that's when I was a broker's assistant.
This was before the twins, right?
Yeah, even before Atlanta, even before my daughter. So my oldest was maybe about 3 or 4 around that time.
Okay.
So we had been dating a couple years, but I knew, that. And so when I started working there, I'm like, my circle started changing because I wasn't working in that industry anymore. I was now working next to wives. I was working next to women who's getting engaged, women who
you stepping into.
I'm stepping into who I want to be in my womanhood.
That is beautiful.
And they were just like, when I was telling them, because even when I started working in that profession. On the weekends, I still had my weekend bar. I was still like, I was 1 foot in, 1 foot out. I did,
you wasn't sure. Like, I don't know if it's the one. So let me not close
the money, like, I just didn't want to leave the money aspect. It was so fast and it was a lot of it so quick.
Yeah.
But they started, just like,
So even back then, so with your son, right? Because you met him as a single mom, right? even transitioning your son into that, you, I don't know where you were. Were you an entrepreneur back then? Were you starting a business back then, or were you?
Yeah,
just
my son wasn't even 1 year old when I started entrepreneurship.
Okay, all right. So even with that, and finding him, and you had your own life going on, and you give it up for essentially the relationship.
Yeah.
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 So do you ever feel like, and no knock to hubby, and this ain't like hubby, shout out to hubby. Hubby got a movie coming out too, y'all. I just found out. But this is just a question to make you think outside the box, or just to see where your mind. Do you ever feel like things would have been different if I would have followed my dreams
Yeah, I think that I could possibly still be single.
all of this time?
Probably.
So you had the nerve
because-
to ask me. I will wait all this time, and you said myself, you would be single all this time. See, it's possible.
It is.
Yeah.
It is. But I feel like, damn, you just made me think about it. That's crazy
You would
because
have everything that you was working for. You would
I probably would, but I mean, I feel like, it was destined for me to have more babies. It was destined
Right.
for me to, I just feel like this motherhood and me being a mother times 4 was just part of God's plan.
It was part of your plan.
It was part of my plan, God's plan. But
right. But if you believe that if you would have worked on your dream then and not stop, you would
what's
probably
so
be
crazy
better
though?
off, right? Hold on, you'd be better off. So that answers the question. We can't have it all at once.
I feel like you can work to that point because I feel like, honestly, when my man came around, when he came into my life, like when I look, you're putting me in, like I can look over and look down at my life and what it was back then. I feel like when I lost my job for the big company, I was so lost. I knew I wanted to do entrepreneurship. I knew I wanted to be a business owner, but I didn't know what I wanted to do.
Yeah.
And when I met him, he had his own clothing brand.
Okay.
And so it was rocking. It was selling out in Atlanta. People was Southside versus everybody. Southside versus everybody. Shout out to Southside. Shout out to
I'm part of the Southside now.
yes, you are. Shout out to NFA. Shout out to Got Bread. Those were his clothing lines.
Okay.
And so he was like, you should do XYZ. Because I mean, I feel like he guided me into, entrepreneur.
That's how I was with their father.
Yeah, and so I feel like, he literally brought that out of me. He put me on. He tried, God bless his heart. He tried to do so many things, and he had been through so many things that he was trying to make sure I didn't go through. But I really thank God for him because, like, now that I look back, I don't even know what I would have started entrepreneurship in if it wasn't really for him. Shout out to him. But even then, like, I started my brand, but then I was still in the clubs. I was still, you know what I'm saying? So then getting back to when I got the 9-to-5 and I was surrounded by wives and honest women who go home and do this every day. And then they're telling them, oh, I'm still doing bottle service, or this weekend I'm here. They follow me up like, Toya, like you could just, we see you posted up in your little onesie, your little thumb. I see you last night. But then it's just like, I knew then, I felt like God was speaking to me. We had a church next door.
Okay.
We was doing Bible study on our lunch breaks. Like, they just helped me. They helped my journey with Christ grow stronger at that point in my life.
Okay.
And so when my journey was growing stronger with God, God just started talking to me, telling me that I need to prepare to be a wife. I need to stop doing the things that I'm doing. That's a good man, Savannah. Like, that's a good man, Savannah. But
Lord.
you got to fix you, Toya. You got to get you together, because this life that you live in and you surrounded by all these people and you doing,
it ain't good.
yeah, it ain't good for you. It ain't good for you. And so that's at that moment I knew, I'm just like, if he stuck by me back then, we talk about it all the time. And then you mentioned something good to me, like, okay, so wait a minute, your son was just like, I also know that the job that I got let go of, I worked really, really long hours, really, really long hours. So my mom came in clutch for me a lot when I had my son. Even though I had him premature, like I was at work all the time. And then when I took the bartending and bottle service jobs, like I was still working nights, so my days I would be sleeping, blah blah blah.
Yeah.
And so my mom would still take over my son, and I feel like when I got with my now fiance, like he was just like, "F that, like you gonna be a mom, like you."
Stop, boy. Stay at home, mom, and I'm gonna make
home.
sure I got this.
No, for real.
Yeah.
No more dropping your son off with your mom. That's your son. He need to be with you anyway.
And I think that is truly dope. Like, shout out to all the stay at home mompreneurs.
Yeah.
Like, I think that is truly dope because it brings the whole dynamic of the family back. You know what I'm saying? Like, mom's at home nurturing the families. He's out doing what he got to do. You know what I'm saying? Like, I love that structure. I love how you guys are able to work together and still have the businesses. And you know what I'm saying? So that's how you know, for people who's watching, for the moms who's watching, that's how you know it's possible, right? But again, they started from here together.
But it's been a lot of ups and downs, Tammy's.
But the point is, you guys still started from here.
Yeah.
You didn't have this established and then had to try to intertwine it. I think that's where the conflict always come in, because he got his life now, you got your life. So how do you, and nobody want to compromise to the point where you know what I'm saying? Like,
that y'all are letting go of what y'all dreams are.
Right. So, I mean.
So I know we were, but to answer you, can you have it all at once? I do feel like you can, but it has to be worked into that. It's not something that comes overnight. And sometimes
I don't want it all right now. I want. Listen, I will respectfully disagree with you.
What?
I don't think you can have it all at once. Not all at once. Like, remember when I say all at once, I mean like raising the kids. And you can have it all at once. You can still be a mompreneur, because of course, even though your kids are grown, you're still a mom. But now the kids are grown, I don't gotta worry about raising them. I can focus on.
Got you.
You get what I'm saying? So that's what I mean. Like, while you're raising the kids, while you're raising your business and finding you, and now you gotta add a relationship into the mix. No, baby, let's just be friends.
Yeah.
Be my friend. Let's get so tight with this. Whatever it is.
I would be having so much fun. Like, he wouldn't even meet my kids. I would just literally be having fun.
And because it's like at a certain point, again, and it goes back to why I said that starting over is a wrap. Because the kids is not, you know what I'm saying? Like, once they're older, then, you know, because they get emotionally attached. Your children,
they do.
Breakup is not just you and the person. Kids are involved. Families are, you know what I'm saying? Like, people are attached and they go through those things too. So it's like, heck no. So I don't think that you can. And I could be wrong. And if y'all doing it, shout out to y'all. But more than likely, the ones that I see, and I talked to a few moms, even some of the guests that came on last season, they had to sacrifice their dream for their relationship.
Yeah.
They had to. You know,
and the ones that are married and stuff like that. The ones
that are married, and it was after this person built this. Now I could focus on that. So that was a sacrifice. I don't think Tammy has that in her right now to do anymore.
It's tough, and then I see a lot of like older women, like once their children are off in college, they're becoming realtors. They're becoming this big. Like, they have, like, it's almost like they're getting into another prime. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? In their life. And
because they get to live it now.
They get to live it.
Your life gets put on hold to a certain extent when you have kids anyway.
Oh, yeah.
Because that is, like, God, you're making all the sacrifices, but when it comes to them kids, you're making sacrifices too.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because it's like, oh, my gosh. Like, now I got to pivot my plan a little bit because I don't have the help to take her to school every day.
Oh, yeah.
Or I don't have the help to take him to the doctor. So I got to change my schedule for today to do, you know what I'm saying? So as a mom, you're going to pivot and there will be sacrifices, but you don't have to stop working on your dream as a mom. You know, that being financially stable is a major goal for every mom because that will eliminate a lot of stress.
Oh, absolutely,
you know what I'm
Tammy.
saying?
Absolutely.
That will eliminate a lot of stress, and I believe women stay in situations because of that.
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
it's a financial cushion. I think women stay in relationships because they have the help with the situation. So, no, I am all for building your dream and building the life that you want so you don't have to, you know what I'm saying?
I know.
I'm all for that. So, I know it's hard.
To each his own.
To each his own, right.
To each his own. And this is one of the reasons why I chose like influencing and content creation,
Yeah.
because I'm like, even if the bag, I remember back when I was just trying to get some sort of bag off of content creation. But, you know, I thought to myself, like, just me picking up the phone and me recording and me document this is going to help so many moms. You're not alone. But if you could just do something simple as upload your feelings and upload something to YouTube, and
Right.
then you raising these babies 2-3 years from now, that video's trending. Now you getting all the money.
Somebody gonna feel it. Somebody
You're gonna help somebody, and the bag is gonna come. The bag is gonna come.
Yep. But you have to start. You have to start and not stop, because the bag may not come in the first 6 months.
Yeah.
The bag may not come in the first 12 months. You know,
And you have to have that type of openness and that type of relationship with your partner for your partner to understand what your goals and dreams are.
Ooh,
Because
baby, that's a whole nother show.
it is, but it's just
that's
like
a whole nother show.
It is. But you know, like, let's be on the
You're so
same
right,
page.
though.
Like, babe,
You're
this is, I love you and I love being your wife and I love being a mom, but I got goals and I got dreams too. You know, and I don't want to look up. Pastor Mike Todd said something really, really good. He was like, it was like a viral sermon, and he said, you're always going to have to be at a baseball game. You always going to have to be at a softball game. You always going to have to be at parent-teacher conference. You always going to have to be all these places, but some of these places you're not going to be able to make it to because you got another purpose. Your purpose is not only to be a parent. Men and women can both have multiple purposes.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And it takes a person who's aware of that to really get it, because everybody won't get it. The average, and I'm not even going to say that. That's not fair to say the average. I was going to say average corporate worker. But no, that's not even fair to say. I think it's more so knowing who you are and what you're comfortable with at that time and what your values are.
Right.
You know, whatever your values are. If you value that family dynamic, like your fiance values that, because he's like, no, Toya, you're going to stay at home or whatever. He's not saying you can't make your own money.
Right.
But he's like, let me go do this, so my home could be good.
Yeah.
And you could my house could be good, and you could make that a home. And while you're home, you're doing what you do. You started your businesses. You know what I mean? Some men can't handle that. Some women can't handle that. Some women will get stressed or frustrated when business is slow. They don't understand the entrepreneur world, because you're going to have slow months. You know, but when it's a slow month, but that's in general of a relationship, like that has to be there anyway. Because even if you weren't an entrepreneur, if you both had jobs and somebody got laid off, somebody got to carry it, you know? So I think it's just about being aware of what you value and how you see what's wrong.
I just saw something so funny, like
Yo, it never fails. Like, we be in a deep moment.
You know, because you just said something. What's his name? Oh my God,
so it will bring up a random funny it never fails. I love Toya.
I mean, my mind, y'all. My mind be all y'all. This is my unwind. I'm with my kids all week. Like, when I sit on this couch with Tammy, I let it all out. Okay. But
I thought, I no lie, I thought you were about to cry when I looked at you, you were like this. And I'm like, wait, what did I say that was deep? And I'm trying to think about what I said. And I'm like, what? And you said, no, because I saw something funny. I'm like, oh gosh, girl. Like, well, you are hilarious.
Oh
so
my
what
God,
was
because you be saying stuff and I be like, I'm such a visual person. So when you say stuff, but I saw, oh my God, what's his name? He does a podcast. He's a dark-skinned dude. Is he a rapper? He's bald, but he had a woman on his show. Oh, you were talking about when somebody gets laid off. And like, it was this lady and she was like, yeah, because my ex-husband. He was like, okay, why he your ex-husband? And she was like, because he lost his job and he asked me to pay the bills for a couple of months. And she said, I told him I'm fine with that as long as you pay me back whenever you get a job.
Ooh.
And so he was like, and so the silence was so loud on the podcast, and
That's scary.
And she was like, and she was like, and you know, he kind of didn't like that, so we got a divorce.
I would have divorced her too.
And so the man goes, I know he happy y'all not married no more. And she was like, he's not. Like, she was like, literally. But no, that's real, Tammy, that you said. And it's a lot of women can't handle that. Listen, a lot of men can't handle that.
A lot of men can't handle that. A lot of men can't handle a lot of things when it comes to.
A lot of men can't handle powerful women.
Let me just say this. If it ever comes to a thing where I got to pay you back and we together.
She was dead serious. She was dead serious.
I got to pay you back. No, because you know how much you know how much you've done for me and I've done for you. You know what I'm saying? And
we're married.
We're married. Like your success is my success. My success is your success. But those are those people that don't think of each other as one unit.
That's crazy. Why would you say I do to somebody then?
Girl, I'm glad for him. Shout out to him. Because that would
I would have ran fast.
Girl, you triggering me because I got some stories to tell. Listen. But I ain't gonna tell them tonight because we about to get out this studio. Listen,
we need a part 2, baby.
We need a part 2. No, we need a wine night. You come to the house, and we can just, you know, have a podcast after dark type of situation.
Ooh,
baby,
I love that idea.
A Mompreneur Huddle after dark, or the Mompreneurs after dark, or whatever, or we could call it when the kids go to sleep or something.
When sleep now, let's talk.
Yeah, she's talking about, can I come on and say hi? But I'm about to be just like her because I am ready to go up out of here. Listen, as always, I enjoyed this conversation. But truthfully speaking, right, I never want to see a mom putting her dreams on hold. I know it's not my business all the time, but I just get so passionate about women really stepping into their power. And if you feel like it is not possible, if you're watching this and you feel like it's not possible or why it's not possible, let us know your thoughts. Tap in with us, leave a comment. Thank y'all for everyone who is watching, everyone who is subscribing, everyone who is following us on Instagram, everyone who's inquiring about coming on the show. Like, this means so much to Toya and I. Like, just the love. And I saw this new trend that I want us to do, right?
Okay.
It's to help, and y'all can do it too if you have a platform, if you have a business, or if you don't have a lot of followers. Because you know how entrepreneurs get so caught up into, we got to get our following up. We got to get the traction up. And if 100 people view something or 100 people like something, we don't think that that's enough. So I saw this new trend. I saw it today, actually, where they're putting in Chat GPT and they're asking Chat to give them a visual of 100 people in a stadium. What does that look like? And Chat is giving them their stadium pictures of 100 people. And when you see it in that form, it's a lot of people. So don't think just because 100 people saw it, that's not a lot. If 100 people bought what you were selling at $100, you made money. If 100 people showed up to your birthday party, you're going to feel loved, right? So if you're only getting 100 views or 100 likes, that's major. That is major. We get caught up into this K letter. I got to have a K behind this. I got to have a K behind that. No. Like, you need your, and this is in the book Superfans that we're reading for this month. You need your Super 100.
Okay.
Your Super 100. And what that means, I'm going to wrap it up. Yeah, I know I was wrapping it up, but look, my mind just went another place, and I got to get this out because somebody need to hear this. Your Super 100 is your Super 100 diehard fans that's going to continue to support and spread the word for you.
That's a lot of people.
That is a lot of people. Mm-hmm. You don't need millions and thousands of followers because you're always going to be chasing new leads, right? So if you just had those tight 100 people, they're going to do the walking and talking for you. You nurture those people, right? And that's why I want to love on this 230 subscribers that we have right now, because
Yeah.
it is truly, truly appreciated. Like, shout out to y'all. Give yourself a hand clap. If y'all been here since day one, give yourselves a fist bump from me.
Yes.
Shout out to y'all. Like, and I truly, truly appreciate y'all supporting this dream, and Toya, you supporting the dream and the vision, and you seeing it, girl. You know, I'm always thank you. I'm always give you your flowers. But yes, please go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Tap in with us on my Instagram is Tammy Capri _ Toya's Instagram is
You can find me at On Your Wish List.
On Your Wish List, and it is on our tags here below. But just tap in with us, y'all. Like we truly love when we get feedback from strangers that become friends. Toya, you got anything you want to say before we sign out?
No, yes. Well, yes. Y'all just make sure y'all show love in the comment section. Like,
Yes.
we want to get the engagement there too. I'm not too much big on likes either. But I do love engagement. Like, let's have a conversation. Because you never know if your question or what you're feeling will help another mompreneur, another mom out there. So please just drop your comments. And
Absolutely.
we appreciate them.
Absolutely. And with that, we are out of here. Crowns on, chins up. Make sure y'all rock y'all week. Y'all have a good one.